Am I audible to everyone? So, after so many days, after a long vacation, we are discussing. I am taking the class of corporate accounting for you. So, today we will discuss about a new topic, that is liquidation of a company. So, basically, first we have to know about what is actually liquidation. What do you mean by liquidation? What is liquidation? Liquidation is otherwise known as winding up, means closed. Already we have discussed about how a company started, means what is the formation of a company, incorporation, commencement of business. We have already discussed in the earlier classes. But today we will conclude the company. That means we are going to close the company, and we are going to winding up of a company. Liquidation or winding up is a legal term that refers to the procedure through which the affairs of the company are wound up by the law, and winding up of a company has been defined in the Companies Act 2013 as the process whereby the life of the company is going to be closed. The life of the company is ended and its property is administered and for the benefit of its creditors and members. An administrator called a liquidator is appointed, and he takes control of the company, collects its assets, pays its debts, and finally distributes any surplus among the shareholders or members in accordance with their rights. So this is known as liquidation. What is actually liquidation? It's a process in which the company is going to be end in its lifestyle, and for winding up or closing up or liquidation of a company, there is a process that process includes how the company is going to be closed. It takes some time, and for winding up or closing up or liquidation of a company, the company is appointed a particular person that is known as liquidator, and he is the person who takes the responsibility to closing up of the company, and for that he takes all the assets and sold in the market, and if there are some secured asset, unsecured assets, assets specifically placed, assets not specifically placed, there are so many types of assets under these circumstances. And after selling the assets, after receiving some amount, after realizing the assets, that the next duty of the liquidator is to pay the debts to the creditors, and if after paying the debts to the creditors, if any amount of surplus that is available near the company, that are to be distributed among the shareholders or members of the company. So this is all about what is actually liquidation. Liquidation, otherwise known as winding up, it clearly denotes that liquidation is a process by which the company's lifestyle is going to be end, and for that a person is appointed known as liquidator. He takes the responsibility to close the company. For that, assets are to be realized and the debts are to be paid off. If any surplus available after paying the debts to the creditors, then the surplus amount must be distributed among the shareholders or members of the company. So this is all about the clear-cut provisions given in Companies Act 2013. So company being a creation of law can't die a natural death. So it comes to end by law through a process of winding up or liquidation. So as you all know that company is not a natural person, it is an artificial person. So as company is an artificial person created by law and dissolved only through law. So for that, no company can be dissolved or liquidated unless until the court may take the responsibility for winding up of the company. So the process of winding up of a company is that the liquidator is appointed, who is entrusted with the following duties. That what are the duties or what are the responsibilities that has to be laid down for the liquidator? Number 1, selling of the assets of the company. Number 2, paying off its liabilities. Number 3, if there is any deficiency to pay the creditors, the shareholders, now called contributories, are called upon to pay unpaid amount on their shares. If there is any surplus after clearing the liabilities, it may be distributed to the members of the company. and after going through all the above processes, the registrar of company removes the name of the company from the register of companies maintained in his office. So this is the procedure how a company is going to be liquidated. How company is going to be liquidated? It's a very important topic, how liquidation process is to be made. And for liquidation, a particular person is appointed known as liquidator, and that liquidator is having the responsibility to sell the assets first. Then after selling the assets, the next duty is to pay the debts, means liabilities must have to be paid off. And after payment of liabilities, if there are any surplus available near the company, that have to be distributed among the members or contributories of the company. This is all about the process. Now come to basically what are the modes of winding up. This is a theoretical questions may come in your examination, in the semester examination as well as in the internal examination also. But for semester examination, not for internal examination, because in internal examinations questions must come from the part of unit 1. But for semester examinations, question from this particular unit may come from the part that is mode of winding up or theoretical aspects. So mode of winding up means basically there are two mode of winding up. As per section 270 of Companies Act 2013, the winding up of a company may be either by the tribunal or by the voluntary. That means either by tribunal, means either by the court. If court says that you have to wind up your company, then it can be, or by through the members of the company voluntary. So if we are going through winding up of the company through the tribunal, what are the circumstances, what are the rules and regulations we must have to be followed. So as per section 271 of the Companies Act 2013, if the company is unable to pay its debts, means section 271 of Companies Act 2013 states that a company may, on a petition under section 272, be wound up by the tribunal in the following cases. So what section 272 tells us? Section 272 of Companies Act 2013 tells us that if the company is unable to pay its debts, if the company is unable to pay the debts, then the company can be liquidated. If the company has by special resolution result that the company be wound up by the tribunal, means if there are some special resolution and that special resolution indicates about the liquidation procedure, then only company can be liquidated. If the company has acted against the interest of the sovereignty and integrity in India, the security of the state friendly relations with foreign state, then only we can liquidate the company. If the tribunal has ordered the winding up of the company under chapter 19 of the Companies Act 2013 dealing with revival and rehabilitation of sick companies, then only company can be liquidated. If the company has made a default in filing with the registrar its financial statements or annual returns for immediately preceding 5 consecutive financial statements or financial years, then only company can be liquidated or terminated. So these are all about various provisions that have to be laid down under section 271 as well as section 272 for winding up of the company by the tribunal. Now come to voluntary winding up. As per section 304 of Companies Act 2013, a company may be wound up voluntarily if the company in general meeting passes a resolution requiring the company to be wound up voluntarily as a result of expiry of the period for its duration, or on the occurrence of any event in respect of which the articles of the association provides that the company should be dissolved or If the company passes a special resolution that the company be wound up voluntarily, then only. Means if in a particular general meeting more than 75% people available, means present in that meeting, if they agrees that, means more than 3/4 of the persons available in a particular meeting, if they agree to wound up the company, then only we can say that there is special resolution passed, and by taking into consideration of that special resolution, the company can be wound up. So these are all about two circumstances or two modes of winding up. One is winding up through the tribunal or the court, and secondly winding up voluntarily by the members. Now come to one of the most important term, which is known as contributory. For liquidation of a company, contributory terms is very, very important. So what do you mean by contributory? A contributory is every person liable to contribute the assets of the company in the event of its wound up, and includes a holder of fully paid up shares, and also any person alleged to be contributory. A contributory can be either a present member or a past member. A present member is that member whose name is included in the register of the companies or a register of members. When a present member is that member whose name is included in the register of the members and the company is wound up, he is liable to contribute the amount remaining unpaid in the shares held by him. So basically contributory means the person who is having the stake on the assets of the company. If the person has already paid the total amount of shares as fully paid, then he is also a contributory. If the person, the members of the company who are having the stake in the assets of the company, means the shareholders which have already paid the amount of share capital held by them either fully or partially, and a shareholder who is a past shareholder, he may be the contributory, or the present member whose name is in the register of members, he can be a contributory. Means the contributory, they have to be paid if any surplus available, and if any amount that is to be needed by the company, then the contributory can contribute amount to the company. So on the other hand, past members are those members who cease to be shareholders except by death within 1 year of the winding up of the company, and can be called upon to pay if the present contributories are not able to pay the liabilities of the company. So past members are included in B list of contributories, and present members are included in the A list of contributories. Basically there are two lists of contributories. One is A list of contributory, one is B list of contributory. Present members are included in the A list of contributories, and past members are included under B list of contributories. Now come to one more important point, which is known as liquidator. For the purpose of winding up of a company by the tribunal at the time of passing of the order of winding up shall appoint an official liquidator or a liquidator from the panel maintained by the central government, consisting of the names of the chartered accountants, advocates, company secretaries, cost accountants, and other such members or professionals as may be notified by the central government, having at least 10 years experience in company matters. The company must submit a statement of affairs to such liquidators within 21 days of the passing of winding up of the order. This statement shows assets at realizable values and liabilities at values expected to rank, and shows surplus or deficiency as per list H. So basically liquidator is a person who is appointed to take up the liquidation process and who takes all the responsibility for closing the company. His responsibility is to sell the assets, pay off the liabilities. If any surplus available, that has to be distributed among the shareholders. If there are any deficiencies, that has to be transferred or carried forward to the last column. So this is all about, and who can be a liquidator? A liquidator can be an advocate, he can be a chartered accountant, he can be a cost accountant, he can be a company secretaries, as the case may be. That must be notified by the central government. The official liquidator must convene the meeting of the creditors within 2 months of the winding up of the order, and For inspection, he should also convene or contribute to this meeting within 14 days of the above meeting to ascertain their views on the committee of inspection. The committee so appointed should not have more than 12 members made up equal number of representing creditors and so on. So this is all about the liquidators. Now come to the order of payment. At the time of liquidation, when assets are realized, how we have to distribute the amount of assets realized, means how we have to distribute the amount of cash available near us to the various categories of members, various categories of creditors, various categories of stakeholders who are known as the liability holders and who are known as the creditors. Number one, first we have to pay the expenses of winding up, including the liquidator's remuneration. Second, first we have to pay the expenses on liquidation and liquidator's remuneration. Number two, we have to secondly pay the creditors, means which is known as secured or floating charge on the assets of the company. They are basically known as secured creditors. And thirdly, we have to pay preferential creditors. Fourthly, we have to pay unsecured creditors. And finally, the surplus, if any, amongst the contributories. So these are the 5 different steps that we have to distribute the amount of cash. First, we have to expend the amount of expenditures for liquidation process and the amount to be paid to the liquidators as liquidators remuneration. Secondly, the amount paid to the secured creditors. Thirdly, the amount paid to preferential creditors. Fourthly, the amount paid to unsecured creditors. And finally, if any amount available near us as surplus, that are to be distributed among the contributories or members of the company. These are all about the order of payment. In the next subsequent classes, we will discuss about preferential creditors, unsecured creditors, how the accounting statement of affairs is to be made for liquidation of a company, how to prepare the final statement of affairs. There are so many practical oriented applications for liquidation of a company also. Theoretical aspects are also there. So, hope you all have books. So, you always go through the books properly and attend the classes regularly. I will take the classes. I will inform you in the later. I will inform you in later when I will take the classes. So, today's class is this much. Hope you all are well and safe. So, thank you. Goodbye. Have a nice day.